Hey everyone, I only have one of the lights on today. That's all right though. So maybe it works better with one light on. I don't know. Is that the light over there? It's light. If you're in the chat, feel free to say hi. I'm going to send out the link, see if we get some people in here. But this is the office hours time every day or every Monday when, oh my gosh, now I hear myself. The office hours time every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No Friday. No Friday office hours. We don't do Friday office hours in here. We do meetings on Friday. Friday meetings. Hey, Noel, good to see you there. What do you want to do, Noel? What should we do? Noel, Mewbot's here. Let's throw you some big points. Noel, thank you for being here. I haven't even sent out the announcement. That makes my day. See, I feel like I shouldn't have to send announcements these office hours, but I want people to come here and I want people to do work. We can do chapter 2. We can talk about the material, whatever you want. So office hours, we'll say click here. Click here for office hours. Click here. Okay. I don't hear my music or anything. Things got weird. I think you guys hear the music. Yeah, you guys hear the music. Maybe you might... No, the earbuds are working. So you hear the music. I don't. Sad day. Publish. Office hours. Live. And whatever you want to work on. Shoutouts to The Walk. They gave me a free chicken biscuit this morning. And we have the event today. So if you're watching this, we have, I posted on UTK Reddit, posted the event that we're hosting. Posted a few times. Oh man. Oh man. Here we go. There are 2 things I would like to maybe go over: how to use Jump and get ready for tomorrow's Canvas content quiz. Yeah, let's do that, and I'll show this right here. So here we go to the main screen. We'll talk about Jump and everything. Let's do it. Here's the event tonight at 5 p.m. Student Union 272A. So there's the event. Adam Ragusi. I'm going to double check how I pronounce his name. But we're going to talk about some Jump coming up here. So let's do a little Jump. Brian Stevens, Business Analytics. So you should have access to, and let me timestamp this, kind of how to use Jump. Thank you so much for this great question right here. We're going to talk about how to use Jump. 523 Stat Tool 1 using JMP. Okay, and we'll say like chapter 2 help. Okay, so the first thing you need in Jump is data. A lot of times you can get data into Jump by copy pasting. You want to go to something like File, New Data Table. File, New Data Table. Control N also gets you there. File, New Data Table, and you get a new data table, and you can hit Control V a lot of times. You might have to hit Edit, Paste with column names. Now, we don't really have any data stored right now, but your data will come looking like this. Like if you were to ask how many push-ups people can do or something like that, you might get data like this, and you have someone who's beast. So it's all right. However many push-ups you can do, like this person can do that many. That's insane. So you would label this push-ups, or you would have something like donuts. I'm just hungry and just, now I want donuts. How many donuts do you want? How many donuts should we order? There we go. That person, they're not eating donuts. So you could do this right here, or we could do something like score on test. Score on test right there. We'll make that a 98. I don't know why half the class is failing. One thing I'm trying to figure is the homework questions. I feel without your help, I am hesitant. Yeah, and so definitely check out the videos. Here's the good news, is the test focuses a lot more on what the variables are. Like, let's look at this data set right here and talk about the who's and the what's of this data. You ready? So we have here also state born. So let's talk about the who's and the what's of this data. So we have now entered some data into Jump, and here's the who's and the what's. So what is the who's of this data? Lucas, good to see you there. We'll throw you some points too. What are the who's of this data? It's made up data, so as long as you're, make up something interesting, we're good. We got score on test, donuts, state born, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6. Braden, good to see you there. Ask some questions if you got them. We're talking about Jump and how to use it. So the who's are the rows. So whenever you think of who's, always look at the rows if you have access to look at data, and think, who did you collect data on? And this is made up, so we're just making up that these are students. So the who's are who did you collect data on? So these are the who's. We collected data on students, 6 students. That's who we analyzed. So when you think of who did you analyze? You might be analyzing slices of pizza and seeing how tasty they are. So the whos would be the slices of pizza. No worries, Brayden. Good to see you there. I was like, you're not a mod, but now you are. So we'll throw some more points. What are the whats of this data set? So the who is who you collect data on, 6 students in this instance. So in this case, would it be the numbers? So the whats are the variables you learn about them. So it is kind of the numbers, but what did we learn? One of the whats is their test scores. Another of their whats is how many donuts they eat. Another what is the state they're born in. So the whos, those are the whats right there. What did we learn about them? Those are the whats. The whos are each of the students we talked to. Who did we talk to? Student 1, Student 2, Student 3, Student 4, Student 5, Student 6. The test a lot of times covers the types of variables. Important that we know that score on the test is quantitative. Donuts you eat is quantitative. State you are born in is categorical, also nominal, just a subtype. Does this make sense right here, Noel? That the whos are who did you collect data on, and the whats is what did you learn about them. Put in a data frame, you can see where it is the columns are the whats and the whos are the rows. And a data frame is just kind of like an Excel sheet. Questions on this, if you want me to elaborate? So we learned 3 things about the student. If we don't know the numbers are students, what will we say about the numbers? So basically, when you think of like, let's pretend we are going out and we're trying to understand who's going to win the election. And so we're with Quinnipiac, which is a polling agency. So who are the whos when Quinnipiac does election polls? What is the who when Quinnipiac? Good to see you there, B. Slarp, I like you there. You like me? Yes. So who are the whos with Quinnipiac? Quinnipiac polling group right there does a lot of election polls. Who are the whos with Quinnipiac? So Quinnipiac polling organization polling on the U.S. election. Who are the whos with Quinnipiac? Who are the whos? Don't worry about being wrong. We throw points for all answers. So who are the whos with Quinnipiac? Who are the whos? Well, so kind of. The whos are the people that Quinnipiac would talk to. So when they go out, this polling group, they would talk to people in the U.S. And the people they talk to in the U.S. are going to be people in the U.S. who vote. So they talk to registered voters. The who would be the registered voters they sample. Does that make sense? If you had a data set for this, it would probably look like we'd have here, are you voting for candidate X? Voting for candidate X. So we don't mention anybody here. You would have here person 1 says yes, person 2 says yes, person no, yes. What is the only what in this data frame right now? So now the polling agency is just asking, are you voting for the person candidate X? So now they've talked to 19 people. These are all the whos. Who did they talk to? Who did they get data on? And then the what would be what? The what would be what? The what would be what? Are you voting for candidate X? Exactly. You're voting for whatever X is, candidate X. So that's the what. And then who did we speak to? The 19 individuals. What are they voting for? Are they voting for the candidate? That is the what. So you have the what up here and each of the who's here. Where did they do this? How did they do this? Those are kind of less important, but you can notice this is a categorical variable. And this kind of gets us now to analyzing data in JUMP. Kind of the hardest thing for people a lot of times is bringing data into JUMP. Once again, file, new data table. I'm going to mark this right here using JUMP, who's and what's. And we're going to do a new timestamp here with getting data in JUMP, getting data in JMP. And you know, we might need to do an example question, especially from chapter 2, and show you how easy a chapter 2 question is with JUMP. So we're going to show kind of the importance of JUMP right here and how it's really easy. If you want to get chapter 2, I think a homework question might have it. So pull up chapter 2. Thank you to everyone who's here. And you can always throw a question in the chat. Shouts to Noel right there throwing questions, because then I just answer them. Mubot throwing those points. Okay, so we're pulling up chapter 2 as we speak. And Mubot giving out those Mubucks. So many Mubucks. Okay, I wrote that so long ago. I mean, Mubot wrote that long ago. Chapter 2 homework. Replace questions. Here we go. Okay, we're bringing it up over here on the screen. And let's go find one that has data. Okay, that's an easier one. That's an easier one. That's an easier one. None of these are bad. Oh man, do we not have any that require jump? The homework doesn't require jump. I should have known that. The homework does not require jump. Let me go look at the quiz, and people get to the quiz and they say, why do I gotta use jump on the quiz? Quiz is a little bit harder. Quiz has a lot of questions right here, so you can get different versions of it. Here we go. That one, you could use jump, but it's just as quick to not use jump. And we're trying to find one that requires jump. We should see data. We could do any of these if you want, if it loads. Oh, I know. Did we remove a lot of the ones that require jump? It says don't use jump. Let's see how jump does. Let me see the instructor tip again. Don't use jump to find Q1 and Q3. Use different methods than what is used here. Use the method in the class notes. Well, we're going to do it. Data analytics 2, we could do data analytics 2. So here's how to get data into jump. Let's timestamp right here, and then we'll probably do some data analytics 2. So this is how to do the work in jump. How to get data into jump. Okay. So you want to go right here and click the data set. Then click the box to copy to clipboard. Once you copy to clipboard, click Command-C or Control-C to copy the data. Now that you've clicked Command-C or Control-C, go back over to Jump and go to File, New Data Table. File, New Data Table. Under File, New Data Table, you want to paste normal right now. And we'll double check that this is correct. When you paste, you shouldn't see the name of the column right here. See you in class, Lucas. Thank you for being here. So sometimes you have to paste with a column name. If this appeared where it said something like tornadoes right here, and then it had the data below it, you should have pasted with column names, so restart. The paste on the left is incorrect. If that comes out that way, you need to paste with column names, start over, just close that sheet. There's ways to fix it. It takes longer to fix it than to close it, and you should not paste with column names. Or you should paste with column names if this appears in the column, but everything was right. So once again, just to say it again, for this problem I'm working, you can just open a new sheet and normal paste. Do not paste with column names, or it'll put the first number in the column names. That's what pasting with a column name does. That first row goes to the column name. So this is incorrect because you have a portion of the data in the column name because it thought that was a column name. So everything here is correct. Now that we have this correct, we're actually going to try to do this with jump, and we might even try to fix up the way it's done. And let's see if we get it right. So we're going to go here to Analyze, and we're going to go to Distribution. With Analyze Distribution, do you need to click any specific areas to make sure it goes? Don't click anywhere inside of it usually. Just, I'll show it again. What you usually want to do is you want to open a new sheet and just paste. A lot of students will open up and click inside of it. That has caused problems before. It might not, but usually just open a new sheet of data, open a new sheet, and then just paste. And then if you see that there's a column name there, make sure to paste with column names. Under Edit, paste with column names. If you're stuck on any of these, let me know. Usually students might have trouble getting the data into jump. You can also type it in, but that's kind of laborious. Thank you, Noel, for those questions. And so we want to go here to Analyze Distribution. Under Analyze Distribution, double-click the name of the variable, and now click OK. What? Oh, I didn't click Analyze Distribution. I clicked Fit Y by X. Analyze Distribution, double-click the variable, and click OK. Analyze Distribution for this one. It's univariate, one variable. Then here we are. We're going to click the top red arrow and click Stack. I'll pause on this. The top red arrow and click Stack. We can see a right-skewed distribution, right to the high, left to the low, whatever way Mr. Monster Man's tail goes. You can see here the right skew, Monster Man, right tail distribution. Right skewed Monster Man, right to the high, left to the low, whatever way the Monster Man's tail goes. And so here we are with the data, and we can see the mean, the standard deviation, the median, the Q3, and the Q1, and it's saying Jump's going to get it wrong for us. I do correct this if students show that they send to me and they say, hey, Jump got it wrong. But let's go right here and see if Jump got it right. We'll find out. All I'm going to do is just enter in the data. And if it tells me I'm wrong, I'm going to find a way to fix it. We'll check that out. Wants to 2 decimal places, 89.95. Let me put this on the screen so you can see it at the same time. Okay, so 1 second right here. I'm going to get it displayed on the screen at the same time. It's going to be smaller though, and I'm going to disappear. And so we are looking merely, or I can do this now. There we go. There's that, nice and perfect. And then we go here, and you can now see it. Okay, good. Nice and big, clear to read. And now we have right here the median. The median's 87. Now we have the Q1, which is 25%, like 1/4. We'll see if we get these wrong. We'll try to fix them if it doesn't like it. 51.5, the Q3, which is 75th percentile, right there, it's like 3/4. 1, 2, 3.5. The range of the data is going to be the min to the max, but watch this. Summary statistics, customize. I'll pause right here, that red arrow. And let's go here, the range, the IQR. We can get those. So I just clicked those and I click OK, and it tells me the values. So you can get a lot of the work done for you if you just ask Jump to do it, because why do the work when Jump will do the work? So the range is the max minus the min, which is 175. You do need to know how to do this on the test. All we're doing right here is taking 204 minus 29. There's that answer. The IQR is going to be Q3 minus Q1. So we go here to 123.5, Q3 minus Q1. It's a positive number, so if you reverse them and do Q1 minus Q3, it's just positive. It's a range. It's the interquartile range. Does it like this? Let's check answers. We got 100% correct. It said we wouldn't get it right, but we did get it right. And I feel like my soundboard's not working properly. So we got everything correct right here. Jump did work. I don't know why. Sometimes I think Jump might calculate it slightly differently. It's because there's 9 ways to calculate Q3 and Q1. Ridiculous, I know, right? So with that, we have just done one of the harder programs, or one of the harder questions, and we've used Jump. This question gets students stuck for a long time, but if you have Jump, you just put the data in. And if it says you're wrong, you just say, hey, Brian, I got that Jump question wrong on this quiz. Please fix it for me. I'll fix it. So feel free to ask. Do you want to do data analytics number 2, Noel? Data analytics number 2? Is that the task of the day, data analytics 2? And I do have a visualization playlist. So, and if you say yes, let's do data analytics 2, we'll start on some data analytics 2. The visualization playlist, let me mark this here. So anyone who's coming back to this video. So, Stat Tool 1, Data Analytics 2. So if you take a look, I've just pinned a comment right here. And the pinned comment is the Data Analytics playlist. And if you go through here, you will see videos where I walk through how to do the visualizations. I explain how to make bar charts, pie charts. The assignment might be a little bit different. Yeah. And I can walk through it. And there's these videos too, which have been used by students for many years that explain to you how to make certain visualizations, how to deal with issues like if there's dark mode, different things like that. Like I think one of them is if you have dark mode on a Mac, there's problems. Or not put that in here. But check out these videos. I think they're pretty well put together and walk you through the process. But we're actually going to do some data analytics too. So even though I have videos, I don't want to be like, go watch the video. We actually do work right here. So you can come in and say, hey, how do I do this? And we're going to do that. I think I downloaded Jumper on. Mine looks different than yours. If you're on a Mac, it will look slightly different. As long as you have, so you might see a starting screen. Just click like new data table or Control N or Command N if you're on a Mac. And as long as you can get to something like this, you're good. Like with a new data table right here like this. Let me know, Braden, if you can send me screenshots on Discord and all that good stuff, I can take a look really easily. But it should look something like this. A good way to know if you have Jump is to go to the Data Analytics 2. We're going to go to Data Analytics number 2, Univariate Visualizations. And so here we are. You want to download the Diamonds data set. What? Oh, really? Uh-oh. Well, that's fun. Noel, is this happening to you? I have the Diamonds data set on this computer, I believe. It looks like I'm going to have to re-upload it. And, yeah. Okay, I'll have to fix this. I can get to that, but I don't have all the options at the top. Yours on a Mac, I was able to download it? Well, maybe my computer's just being weird. Or this is the async class. Wonder if it's the async class is being weird. Well, I'm going to re-edit that. On a Mac, your window, it'll be at the very top of the screen. So, Braden, you might have a Mac, it sounds like. And on a Mac, the options won't move with the window. They'll be at the very top when you have an active window. The Mac changes what's up here at the top. So if you're looking for all these options, yep. And so your options that are like here, like analyze, if you click inside of this, will be at the very top up here above it. Let me know if you have issues, but if it looks kind of similar to this, and your options should be at the top of the screen. Okay, I'm gonna fix up this assignment here. I'm currently fixing up the assignment. I'm gonna redo the data. So 1 second right here. I think I have the Diamonds dataset on here. Diamonds dataset. Open file location. What Diamonds 2? In downloads. Okay, got it there. And insert. I don't know what's going on with that. Upload document. There we go, Diamonds 2. Oh, it's in downloads. Diamonds 2. Submit. Okay, I'm putting it here. And then let me go grab that link and say use the visualization playlist. Okay. And increase font. Okay, let me save it. And I think I just did the async. I did async. And we're gonna get started on the assignment here in 1 second. I have 2 seconds to set to 1. And assignments. My grader's already grading like a ton. Oh, it's not due till tonight. I saw we only had like 117 submissions, so I was like, what? Okay. I feel like the async, their file was messed up. Okay, so we're good to go. Let's go back to the main screen. So you should be able to download this file right here, the Diamonds file. If you notice, it's downloading, the Diamonds file download. We open and jump. And Braden, do you see this right here? Do you see something that looks like this? And Noel, we got B# right there, or BS? I'll call you BS like me, or B. I'll call you B. Do people see this? It looks like we have maybe one yes, that people see this. The Diamonds file is uploaded. We've put some links for the students. We've fixed up links. So files are there. Please, if there's ever a problem, tell me. I will be very grateful for you if we ever have issues. Noel's got it. We're good to go. Now here's the issue. I don't really want to do the assignment lest I be doing your work for you. So I'm going to kind of do the assignment. We're going to need to take this information right here and take a look at the grader key. You get half a point for just putting your information on the document. So open up a new Word document. And here we go. Open up the document. So guess what? How many points do we have? Someone type it in the chat for bonus. We fill this in. You fill this in? I would just copy paste it and then fill it in. Let's start going through here and being like, Miles Stevens. Now I'd go to here, this one. I got to put in this. And Miles Stevens, I need to get on here. Go. Mine is our name. Brown Stevens. So, a teacher. You could put 004. Even down there. You get, there you go. You got half a point. Half a point done. We're 5% done. We didn't even have to do any jump. Frankly, that's maybe one of the harder parts. The other parts are pretty easy. So you have this data open. You will use this data. I'm going to use slightly different data. Next thing we need to do is take a random sample. Nice job right there. So we're taking a random sample of 400 plus the last 2 of our UTID. I'm going to go in here to the Pokemon data. And on the Pokemon data, I'm using different data. You can still do the same things I'm doing. Table, subset. Table, subset. With table subset, we're going to put in 400. Wow. 400 plus the last 2 of our UTID. Make sure it's the last 2 of your UTID. So 400 plus the last 2 of your UTID. Then click OK. This is your random sample, and you can tell because it has 400. Please slow me down if you need to. The video is also recorded, and I try to do it slowly, but let me know. So now we've taken a random sample. This will show up in our pictures. You don't need a screenshot of this. Don't add a screenshot. We'll be able to tell if you took a random sample. Just make sure to use this date at all times. You'll see your number, 423 or whatever it is. And don't do 423 unless you have a 23. Don't do 423 unless you're also 23, like me and Jordan. So with this right here, we're going to go down and take a look at the next thing we need to do. I know there's instructions, but you get graded by the rubric. Then you're 400. Thank you, Andrew, right there. That's right. Andrew, yeah, it's 400. There you go. It's 1 in 100 chance that you got that. You got it. Bar chart screenshot. You need a good screenshot of a bar chart. So you need to follow the instructions right here where it says make a bar chart of color category. So you're not going to do the same variable I'm doing. You're going to make a bar chart of color category. So I'm going to go back to my Pokemon data. And a bar chart is a visual display of what kind of data? A bar chart is a display of what kind of data? A bar chart is a display of what kind of data? And I'm fixing up something we need to fix up. A bar chart is the display of what kind of data? A bar chart is a display. There it is. Found it. Finally found it. Bar chart is a display of what kind of data? A bar chart is a display of what kind of data? A bar chart was good review. A bar chart is a display of what kind of data? Categorical. And I should be on the screen back here in a second. Trying to find where I'm at. Really? Wow. There I am. Cool. So bar charts are up here. This and bar charts are 1 or 2 variables. How many variables are bar charts? Good answers in the chat. Bar charts are 1 or 2 variables. How many variables do bar charts display? You look at the instructions because they kind of tell you. We're throwing more points. Bar charts display how many variables? They actually only display, and don't worry, through some points for that, they display 1 variable. Bar charts and pie charts and ring charts and frequency tables all are univariate displays. This is the univariate categorical. This is the univariate quantitative. Do you see how quant? You see quantitative, quantitative. These are bivariate quantitative. This is quantitative Y, categorical X. This is categorical X, because X goes this way, and quantitative Y, and this is categorical, categorical. The green things on here are categorical. So this is bivariate categorical, univariate categorical. The blue is quantitative. This is bivariate quantitative, and this is quantitative over here, and this is a combo. That's why we did different color. And we don't do logistic, hence, and ring charts, no one likes ring charts. Ring pops, not ring charts. Does this graphic make sense? I would try to replicate it, but it's the different types of graphics we use, a lot of which you'll be quizzed over, some of which you've already learned or seen. We broke into histograms, box plots, stem and leaves, and dot plots last class. That's about where we got to at the end of class. So this is a really good graphic to know, and you'll see it again today in class. So good stuff right here. Understand this, know this, and let's go back to the data. So we need to make a bar chart, and to make a bar chart, we can do it nice and easily, and we need our random sample. Notice that that's not the random sample. We go to our random sample, make sure it has the size, and go to Analyze Distribution. Analyze Distribution. Under Analyze Distribution, you need to pick your categorical variable. I'm picking legendary. So right here, I'm putting in legendary. I'm clicking OK. Your variable will be the one it says in the instructions. I click OK, and then I click the top right arrow right here and click Stack. There we go. I'm going to go over to this second arrow and click Histogram. I know it says Histogram, but there's a bar chart still because it's categorical. And then we're going to go to Count Access. Count Access. And then we pick a nice little color, optional, and go right here to a nice light purple. And then we make it nice and bigger. These are all optional things, and there we go. We have a nice looking bar chart right here where we can see the amount of Pokemon that were legendary in this subset. 27 Pokemon were legendary, 396 were not legendary. That means 93.6% were not legendary, and so on. Now, it might have a way of reporting the data. It says include a write-up of the different levels represented in the data. The levels are the different answers to the questions. So you can see include a write-up about the different levels. Be sure to include the corresponding values, counts, or percentages. There's the counts, there's the percentages for each category. Does this make sense right here? Can people understand what you're being asked to do? You've got the visualization of the bar chart for this first question right here. Then you have to talk about, it says talk about the counts and the probabilities, which are the percentages. So that's how many there were in each group. That's the percent there were in each group. That's the total there were. That's if it's legendary, was not legendary, was legendary. How are people doing on this? So you have to take a screenshot of it. So we just have to take a screenshot and talk about this. We got to make our screenshot pretty though. We're going to go right here to this legendary. And you know what you can do? You can actually double click here and say legendary status of Pokemon. So you want us to explain what the numbers mean? Yes, exactly. Well, you're going to then do a short write-up where you explain what the numbers mean. And I'm being as exact as possible. Look at this. Wait, can I not get the E? I want that. There we go. That was very important to me that I get that E that way. It's Pokemon. So now we're going to go grab this screenshot and bring it over to our Word document and put it in right here. There we go. There it is. Legendary status of Pokemon. Make it nice and centered. Add a little picture background. Don't want to be careful. That's too much. Too much. I don't know. Might not do it. Nice and pretty. No, don't do that. Don't. Whatever you do, don't do that. Some of the borders, you notice... You can do some crazy things. Ooh. I feel like everyone's going to do that now. Is that right there? It's pretty big borders. There you go. Pretty good looking graphic, right? All depends on what you want. And then explain it. Walk someone through it. So I don't want to do a write-up here unless everyone copy what I say, but you just have to talk through it. Go to the next one right here. If you notice, what do we have right here? Bar chart was created, and we did that. Write-up is accurate and written in complete sentences in paragraph format. So you don't want to do bullet points. You want to explain your graphic and explain the counts and the percentages about the Pokemon and talk about, hey, this is about Pokemon who are legendary. And we saw which ones are legendary, which ones not. This time it says, plus the last two digits. Do I do that? Or the 400? I think it says 400, right? Let me double check. Thank you so much. It's 400. 400 plus the last two. So, does it say somewhere else in the assignment 100? Oh, does the key say 100? I don't see 100 in here. It does. No, and that's no random sample was taken right there. Let me know if there's an error in it. The assignment says this one says 400. The last one was 100, I believe. Good questions, Andrew. So this one is 400 though. And the next thing we have to do is a pie chart. So visualization of a pie chart was created, and then we have to do a write-up of it. Anything else? So we have to do it of cut. That's the one you'll be doing. Include the label, either label by value or label by percent. Make sure to click on done. Take a screenshot and put in your word output. Oh, this is number 2. And yeah, this is yes. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, we did the first. Check out other officers or ask questions, and actually, you're basically done if you took the random sample on the first one. So you notice that lets you do this one too. Well, like knowing the process. So now we're going to go back here to our data, and you're going to do cut, I believe it is. Double check the assignment. And we're going to go here to graph builder. This is how to make the pie chart. Graph builder. Under graph builder, you're going to take the variable you want, and I'm going to do type. After I download Jump on Mac, how do I start using it? Open up the file. So go to the file and just download the file, and it'll open up, and let me know if there's issues. So now we've got the variable inside of here. Then we're going to click the pie chart. There's our pie chart, a little bit crazy. And then we're going to go labels, label percent right there. Oof, big pie chart. Yours is not going to look as crazy as mine. I wonder if I can decrease font size. Customize. Oof. Here we'll go to numbers. Value. Oh, better. When I went to Graph Builder, it does not show type. Yes. Which variable are you doing? Everyone remind us. Which variable? And good questions right there. Thank you for asking. Which variable are you using? Which variable will you be using for your pie chart? I do slightly different work, so you have to think about, like, mine's a little bit different. I'm just showing how to make pie charts in Jump. So which variable will you be using to make your pie chart? So you won't use the exact same variable I used. I'm going to mark pie charts. Which variable will you do? Which variable will you do? Any thoughts? So take a look at number 2. Which variable will you be using? Huh? All right. Here. Which variable will you be creating a pie chart of? Cut. Great job. Yep. So you'll do cut. Once again, I'm doing different data and great answers there, Andrew. Great job, Noel. You'll be doing cut. So make sure to use that variable here. That's why you don't see the exact same thing I have. And you can make the pie chart look nice and pretty right here. And then you go here and click done. You can then edit labels if you want and say Pokemon type. I still have that E. I don't. Pokemon type. I am an attention to detail guy, because it's got to be right. Or I have it over here still. It'll drive me crazy if it's not accurate. It doesn't take but a moment to do things right. There we go. It's got it now. And then we want to change type to type 2. Or just type. And then you could probably, at least for mine, I could deselect some. I'm just gonna so I can remove it from the graphic. I would not do this. Do not do this. Oh. Ay. Don't do this. Don't do this. It's just that I have too many. I have too many. Ooh. Whoa. Item wrap. Yes. Oh, wow. Can I put it below? One second. Why can't I put this below there? No, it would look so good. Jump. We were so close. No worries, no worries. Look, I'm throwing a huge 1,000 points. Thank you for everyone who were saying they had questions in the chat right there, and I can't get this to go below, which is driving me crazy. I'm confused how to get this to go below, and Jump's like, no, I will not move this. You can grab this little tool right here, and you're supposed to be able to move things, but Jump's telling me no. That's a huge 1,000 points. Always feel free to ask any questions. We're here to help out. And Brian can't figure out how to move that, but it does look nicer that it's now wrapped around a little bit. So I did some changes to that. I formatted this by double clicking it. You probably won't have to do that, but I kind of played around with the settings right there. And I wish I could put it below the graphic, but Jump says no. So we have this about as good as we can get it. And we're going to go ahead and take this graphic right here, this nice, neat graphic. Nice, neat screenshot. There we go. I think we didn't get any extras. And then we go back over here. There we go. And we're probably not going to put a border on this one because we'll lose some information. But there is our pie chart right there, looking nice and neat. Now we just have to talk about the most common type of Pokemon. And actually it'll help us inside of Jump here if we just click this. And we can see it's flying is the most common. Flying? Really? I think this is, yeah, maybe it's type 2. That's weird. Flying is the most common, followed up by what looks to be ground type, and then 18 with poison, and 17, we can even hover with psychic. So I did thoroughly read the instructions yet. Does it matter on where the type located on the screen is? It really doesn't matter too much. I was just making this thing look super pretty. So make sure your pictures look nice. You don't have to go the extra mile like I'm going, but I like to make things look good. So Don't worry. The biggest thing is just taking the screenshots and making sure they look nice. Do not, and I'll show you where you will lose points. If you turn in things like this, here's where a lot of students lose points. This. Do you see the vast quality difference between... We'll delete this one for now, so we can just see these two. Do you see the quality difference and how this one right here, the second graphic, we don't want all this extra stuff on it. Like why, this is the control panels for changing it. And if you do that and you don't click done, you will lose points on your graphic. Your graphic should look something like this right here. It doesn't have to look the prettiest in the world, but you shouldn't get extra parts of the screen. You shouldn't have the control panel on there because that's not needed for your graphic. Does that make sense, Noel, right there? So this right here would lose you points. Something like this you'd be fine with. Yeah, so good questions. Doesn't have to look perfect. So our goal is not perfect graphics. It's nice graphics. Oh man, my boss is checking out some of the videos I sent. We got to announce the event at the start of class. I'm hoping we have a really good showing tonight. I got him a nice gift basket for the event, or gift bag, some hoodies and Smokey doll and mug. So you're going to analyze price. Let me put a mark in this here. Mark for the video. I'm excited about there's the event. There's the event again. It's tonight, so if you're watching this in the future, the event's already happened. The event's already happened. Let's do some histograms right here. Data analytics. 3. Oh, 2. Histograms. Okay, let's talk about how to do histograms right here for data analytics. And a histogram is a what display of data. A histogram is a what display of data. So this is review. Have this on your note cards. You should know this. Histograms are a what display of data. Should be on your note card. Histogram is a what display of data. You should know this. Bar chart, or not bar chart, box plot. It's quantitative. So if you look up there in the top corner, you'll see quantitative. It is one quantitative variable. One quantitative variable. So histograms are quantitative. And so now you'll be doing it of, what was it? I don't know. What variable? Price. Quantitative. No worries. More points in the chat. Practice. So I'm going to do it of the attack power of a Pokemon. All right, let's do hit points. So we're going to go here and click Analyze Distribution. Analyze Distribution. We're going to double click the variable we want. Make sure yours is price. And then you're going to click OK. Then you're going to click the top arrow. Click Stack. You're going to click the second arrow. Click Histogram Options, Count Access. Histogram Options, Count Access. Then you make this a little bit nicer. Look at that. There we go. Look at that. Nice. Perfect. You can also do other things like histogram options and then histogram color and choose something nice. Whatever you want. It's your choice. And I think we are good. You can change this too. We're going to do it. We're going the full mile here. Full 1,600 meters, which is almost a mile. There we go. And now we go here to the copy our screenshot, snipping tool or Command Shift 4. If you do get a little bit extra like this, when you bring in your image into your Word document, paste your image. You do not want to have extra stuff like this. You only want the important information. Click your image and then go to Picture Format and go to Crop. Grab the little black bars down here at the bottom and pull in the little black bars. And there we go. Look at that. Nice and perfect. And then you pull in this little black bar here. There you go. Nice and perfect. Control Z. Boom. There we go. Nice, perfect screenshot. So now we basically need to interpret this. This data has a little bit of a right skew to it. You got right skew and outliers. You can actually see, you may not know this, but in a box plot, jump actually shows the mean right there and the median right here as the line. So this is the median, which is a little bit lower than the mean because the mean goes in the direction of the skew. So you can see 69 is the mean, 69.023, and 65 is the median, and the mean is pulled up because of the skew. The IQR for this, which we could calculate ourselves, the IQR here is going to be 30, and that's the difference between Q3 minus Q1. I'm just doing some review right now. I can't find the Analyze tab on Jump to make graphs. Make sure the window is active. If you're on a Mac, it should be at the very top of the screen. Oh no, Christopher. So it should be up here at the very top. If you click the window, that's an active window. If you're on a Mac, it'll be up here at the top of the screen. So PC users, you will see it right here on the window. Mac user, if you have the window active, the Analyze button will be here at the top of the screen on a Mac. Braden, let me know if you're stuck and might need to meet, or tell me if you need help. But thank you, Braden, for that question right there. We're scaring Christopher, I hate to say. So the range is 245. That is max minus min. It's the range. And standard deviation tells us about how, typically, on average, how far things are away from the mean. And the data is skewed, so we shouldn't use the mean and standard deviation. We should use these over here. Yeah, exactly. Yep. That's a great job. We're going to use this data here because of the skew. So because of the Monster Man skew. Now, thank you, Braden, right there, and thank you for asking. That's why just being here and asking is really great. So is this right or left skew? Remember the thing about Monster Man? I will throw 500 points if anyone knows our Monster Man saying. Is this right or left skew? Is this right or left skew? Write this down if you're watching this. And it looks like class is doing really well, or students here right now know it, because I bet they know. And the saying is, right to the high, left to the low, whatever way the Monster Man's tail goes. So you've got the high side of the data, which is on the right side. You've got the left side of the data, which is on the low side. And then you look, where's the Monster Man's tail? Right to the high, left to the low, whatever way the Monster Man's tail goes. Right to the high, left to the low, whatever way the Monster Man's tail goes. 500 points right there, remembering it. And I've rarely had students get this wrong, especially on the test. And it's an honor when students have been like, I'm in a PhD program, and I still remember how to do skew. And I'm like, the basics. So we need to look at what they want us to write up. Don't do that to your graphic, unless you're trying to teach. Include a write-up on the histogram. Describe the content of the variable to the reader. So I'm analyzing hit points of a Pokemon. It's how many hits it takes to go down. It's the power of the Pokemon. Identify the shape of the histogram. Based on the shape only, provide only the appropriate measure of center and spread. Okay, so here's another quiz question. I have identified my histogram as right-skewed unimodal. Right-skewed unimodal. It is a unimodal right skew. What is the appropriate measure of center? I'm going to start a poll. What is the appropriate measure of center? Because it is skewed to the right, what is the appropriate measure of center? So feel free to answer right here. We'll see what people say. What is the appropriate measure of center because it is skewed to the right? Skewed to the right with outliers. So when data is skewed, the appropriate measure of center, does anyone want to say it in the chat? When data is skewed, the multiple points for answering. The appropriate measure of center is the median. When data, and I'll write this down here for people to see, and then we'll do another question. The first thing you look at here is the shape. And there's really two shapes, normal and not normal. From shape, you then figure out the center and you figure out the spread. The center of data is either going to be mean or median. And the spread is going to be the standard deviation or the IQR. So does it make sense now that since we identified our data as skewed to the right, the appropriate measure of center is going to be the median, because our data looks like this right here. It's skewed, and it could be skewed to the left. It's just skewed, normal, not normal. So this is normal data, unimodal symmetric, and this is not normal. Not normal can be anything. It can be like weird data, it can be skewed data, it could be odd data. What if the monster tail goes to the left? You are correct. Noel, great answer right there. That's still skewed data, so it would still be median. So if it looks like this normal curve right here more, you use the mean and standard deviation. And so good question right here. One of our last questions of the day. What is the appropriate measure of spread for the R data here? What is the appropriate measure of spread for our data? What is the appropriate measure of spread for this data? Because it's skewed, we said this data is right skewed with outliers, it's unimodal. What is the appropriate measure? And people are doing it. It's the IQR. Good job right there, and give you some points. It is the IQR. Now, here's what I want people to understand. When you interpret these values, and do we write this into the assignment? We might have. So you want to interpret the values and don't just say the values. So you don't just say the values and say the median is this. So what I would say here is I would say the 50th percentile of Pokemon's hit powers is 65. So does that make sense? The 50th percentile, because that's what the median is. It's the 50th percentile of Pokemon's hit power is 65. The range of the middle 50% of Pokemon's hit powers goes from 50 to 80, which is an IQR of 30. I'm afraid we're going to see a lot of assignments that look exactly like what I'm saying right now. But what would be a wrong answer? Here's wrong answers. Don't give these wrong answers. The median is 65. The IQR is 30. You can also find the IQR by going here. You can put in the range and the IQR if you want. That was customized summary statistics under the red arrow, customized summary stats. And then you go and just check what you want. There's other things you can do too. And you can actually get those values computed for you. 245 is computed by doing max minus min, and similarly IQR is the range of the middle 50%, Q3 minus Q1, which is 30, which is the range of the middle 50% of Pokemon's hit powers, which go from 50 to 80, which is an IQR of 30. And so don't interpret more values. The graders are going to be looking to see right here, did you follow these directions? Include a write-up about the histogram. My histogram for Pokemon hit power is unimodal, skewed to the right with some extreme outliers, with Pokemon having hit points as high as 255. Describe the context of the variable to the reader. Pokemon hit power is something that measures how many hits it takes for a Pokemon to go down when they're battling. Provide only the appropriate measure of center and spread. The appropriate measure of center for this data is the median, which represents the 50th percentile of Pokemon hit power, which is a hit power of 65. The appropriate measure of spread for this data is the IQR, which is calculated by looking at the middle 50%, the range of the middle 50% of Pokemon's hit power going from 50 to 80. Thus, the IQR for this is 30. The range of the middle 50% of Pokemon's hit power is 30. Be sure to include the corresponding values for the center and spread. How are we doing? That is a full walkthrough of this assignment right here. We're probably going to take a short break, but we'll save this right here. That's a full walkthrough. Noel, do you feel good about this assignment? B, do you feel good about this assignment? Good to see everybody here. Braden, Christopher, how do you feel about this assignment? How do we feel? Looking good, feeling good. I wanted to check to see you picked to do Pokemon. Would ours tell us what ours is? You're going to do price of diamonds. Price of a diamond. So you got to talk about the context of a price of a diamond. So make sure you will be doing price of a diamond. Make sure you have your subset. You'll be analyzing this variable right here, price of a diamond, which can get pretty darn expensive. Oh my gosh, wait. Let's go here. Let's go sort this data. Sort this. You're welcome. Let's go descending. $12,000. You're welcome, Braden, right there. See you in class. We got a new intro. Sneak peek at new intro. It's one of my favorite ones. Bye for now. Bye.